Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel.
Hey, what's up, guys? So today we want to talk about, the recent events that's been happening, killings and riots, and, more importantly, the death of George Floyd, and how it's been affecting us. Everybody's been having different reactions, it's been heavy on a lot of people's hearts, and it's been heavy in ours. And just to not that we weren't aware, but just that reminder of your skin color, how you could be treated and how things can happen. And
I think for me, most importantly, just having obviously married to an African American man and having two African American sons, it definitely hits a lot closer to home, especially being that this was a non-violent man. He wasn't doing anything to cause a reaction like that towards him. He was unarmed, he wasn't fighting back. So stuff like that is really scary, because you always hear, if you don't resist, if you don't talk back, or you don't do all these things, then nothing will happen to you. But this is one of many instances where the individual wasn't doing anything or putting up a fight, and they were, backing down. Like, you're handcuffed and you have somebody's knee on your neck. That's pretty. One of the things that is also concerning me is the whole, when somebody puts Black Lives Matter or says Black Lives Matter and a response is all lives matter. We are not saying that all lives don't matter. We are saying all lives should matter, but unfortunately, Black lives do not. So that's why the emphasis on Black Lives Matters is being brought up. The fact is, most other races have already been acknowledged and are treated like humans, and unfortunately African Americans have not for a long time, and we are treated like our lives really don't matter. And this is why we are taking a stand and saying out loud that Black lives do matter, so for those who really don't care for our lives can hear us and understand us. And with all these events that are happening where these African Americans are being killed, especially Black male African Americans that are unarmed, you have the guy that was in his living room playing video games with his nephew. So I'm in my home and I'm still not safe. I'm in my car, I'm still not safe.
And the crazy thing is, like, my dad was always very vocal growing up on, don't do this, don't do that, because he worked with a lot of young African American boys in his field, and he was always kind of hard on me and my brother, saying, don't wear your hoodie, don't do this, so you prevent from getting into any situations, so don't give the police any reason for them to mess with you. But as we're seeing now, like, you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to do anything, which is like completely scary, and it's crazy to the point Dina just made, like, people saying all lives matter. That's not. I mean, it doesn't.
That's what it should be.
It should be, but that's not the point right now. And I saw a good example is basically, your house is on fire, but the fire department comes and puts the fire out on all the houses, even the houses that are not burnt, because you're saying all the houses matter, but your house is on fire. And that's the same thing. Like, yeah, all lives matter, but the one that's being targeted right now is Black lives. So that's why it's being stressed. And so, to people, for people overall, disregarding it is the problem. And this is the time where, you have to keep your eyes open and be open-minded, and on what matters is for those who are not African American and those who are not experiencing it, because
it's easy to ignore it when it's something that's not directly affecting you. It's just like if somebody, like the coronavirus, a lot of people got sick, but for a family that I didn't get sick. That's why you have all these people that didn't get sick or didn't show symptoms, and they're like, oh, it's fake and this. But when you personally have
somebody
people
close to you,
that
everything changes.
either are suffering from it, or like us, we actually lost someone in our family from coronavirus. It's like, this is real. Like, this is something that is serious. But if it's not directly affecting you, you can't empathize with it. You don't get it. Well, as a wife to an African American man, I have a lot of anxiety, because I'm always telling my husband, don't go outside when it's dark. I would prefer to go out and get something after dark, which he obviously doesn't like because I'm the female. But for me, that's what I'm thinking about, is if my husband is driving and gets pulled over and this is some racist person, what can happen to my husband? Because I've been in situations where I got pulled over, and I feel like if it was my husband that had gotten pulled over, the situation could have been different. So for me, I feel like it's very scary for my husband to go out, and then that makes me think even more into the future when my sons get older. How am I going to be able to just let them live and let them grow up and let them go out with their friends, when a lot of times that's when things happen, is when you're not around, and someone might be doing something, you're just there at the wrong place in the wrong time, and because of your skin color, you're the one who gets in trouble, you're the one who gets arrested, and you get pulled into something that you had nothing to do with.
I had last year I had a close encounter with, it could have been a worse situation, and it was just me driving late at night. I think I went to pick up the kid. We were out, and I left the event, and I took my two youngest kids home with me, and they fell asleep in the back seat. And it was late at night, and as soon as I was turning, the cop was going the opposite direction, and we called eye contact. That was all that happened. Eye contact. My lights, everything was legit. Everything, was legit in the car. And as I got on the highway, they drove me. They flying down the highway as if I robbed a bank, pulled me over, shining lights in the car, whatever. And they were very aggressive. And I think the only thing that saved me that night is because I had my son and my daughter in the back seat, sleeping. But
so there was somewhat of a conscience in their head, because there's been instances where these guys were shot with their kids right there.
That's true too, and so it's like they kind of calmed down when they saw the two kids sleeping in the back seat, and when they pulled me over, your tail light, your license plate tail light is missing. Is license plate, the tail light is out, and I'm like, I don't know how you can see that for me when you from the front, because you got eye contact with me, and it's just. It really sucks to have that kind of feeling toward law enforcement, and what sucks too, it paints a bad stroke of everyone that's all cops, because we have a couple of friends that are cops, very close friends that are cops, and they're speaking out against these things, but it's just tough that there's just bad apples that are doing this kind of things, and spoiling the whole bunch. And the fact that back in the day, you was like, oh, these things could have happened before social media, before technology. These kind of happened, and there was hearsay. Oh, this is, oh, this happened. No, this happened. But now we haven't seen clear visual video, like from beginning to end, of someone dying in like real time. And despite your opinion, like, no matter who it is, if it was a white person, anybody, like, no one should be dying like that in that kind of situation. And your prayers go out to the family members that have been losing, and there's people that not even like in mainstream media that these things have been happening. There's lots of cases.
I had posted that before, like, just imagine all of the things that are happening that are not caught on camera, and you just find random dead bodies places, and they're not even knowing what happened. So how do you know this is not like these people just targeting African Americans?
Yeah, again, and it's tough because you can't wrap it up and say, hey, try to stay safe, try to do this. There's legit ain't nothing you could do. We're kind of right now just kind of expressing our frustration and our worries and concerns and there's only so much you could do, but stick together, and division is what really can get you into a dark place, trying to isolate yourself from people and things like that. And this things like situation like this causes those kind of situations for you to distance yourself from. But I really appreciate the people that are not African American and they're like helping speak out and being genuine about it. We happen to live in a community where we're one of 2, 3 African American families, and they kind of wrote out, Black Lives Matter, and speaking out, and that's greatly appreciated. And but again, I mean, we have no way to wrap this up. I mean, it is what it is, but.
Well, you can always comment and express your feelings and what your feelings are towards this whole situation, how you feel about Black Lives Matter. And comment, like, subscribe. Check out our other videos. We have mostly lighthearted videos that you can laugh and have a good time with. So check those out and come back again.
Yeah. Oh, and one last thing, don't get discouraged. I mean, it's discouraging and this is a tough situation, but just don't try to get into that dark place where these things may it may bring you, not only because of what's happening, but coronavirus, some people don't have jobs,
there's a lot
all
going
that
on right now.
all that is a big pressure cooker. And so when you see people rioting and stuff, they're just acting out the frustration, like, we're tired, enough is enough. And so don't get into that dark place. Talk with friends, talk it out, don't keep it bottled to yourself. All right, but venting, that's all we got.